Alright guys, so today in this video we are going to be ranking 20 of my favorite Nintendo games, or just 20 Nintendo games in general, and we are going to be ranking them on this board right here, this rating scale. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so first up we have Minecraft. I don't even think I need to say anything about this. It's going straight in S+ tier. I mean, it is basically everyone's favorite game besides, Fortnite.
I will send you to Jesus.
Oh, Minecraft, which you probably should, but if you don't, just let me explain it to you. It's basically this game where you can explore so many new worlds. Oh shoot, my screen time.
Emotional damage!
As I was saying, in Minecraft you can explore so many places, and there's just so much stuff you can do. You can craft stuff, you can build stuff, you can mine stuff. It's basically what the game says. And they leave it up to, the creators of the game leave it up to you. Like, you can do whatever you want. You can build memes for, like, spell Squidward backwards. Don't do that. I might ruin your childhood. And then you can also just like build so many cool creations or play survival and beat the game. And there's just so many stuff you can do with Minecraft, and that's why it's in S+ tier. And not just because of that, it gives us so many memories, like where we are nowadays and how like amazing it was, or nostalgia playing it back then. But anyway, that's basically Minecraft and why I put it in S+ tier. And before we do any more of these, if you guys don't agree with me on some of these, or have some, or do agree with me, just please leave a comment down below, and I might do a part 2 to this with more games or any other stuff. Just leave your suggestions down below. Oh shoot, no, that. Leave a thumbs up on the video, not a thumbs down. Down to the comments. Cut it out. Alright, but now moving on to Fortnite. F tier? No, I'm just joking. It's going in S tier. And some for big Fortnite fans, you may be wondering why I didn't put it in S+ tier. Well, some live events, probably the most recent, they have just been not so good. I mean, the PvP and the creative stuff is amazing, but there's so much controversy going on in it, and some of the storylines don't make sense, but the game is good. It's just like what else they're doing with the game that's kind of bringing it down to S tier. But other than that, I think it's pretty good. And I mean, we're looking at chapter 2 because that was probably my favorite chapter, and it was also the first chapter I started in. So go subscribe if you started in chapter 2 just like me, and comment down I'm an OG before I get big, hopefully. But anyway, moving on to some anime games, we got Attack on Titan 2. I don't know why I'm doing this accent, but basically it's too hard to explain. Well, if you watch Attack on Titan, you already know it, and if you don't know there's a game, you can get it. It's pretty sick. Basically, if you don't know what Attack on Titan is, there's humans in early AD, and they're these giant humans that are naked and they try to eat other people. It sounds weird, but when you watch the anime, it's really good and really... Well, you'll find out if you watch it. As I'm editing this video, don't watch this show. Okay? Just don't watch the show. Okay? Bye. A copy of the show, which it should be, but the game animation is... It's on the B side, and then like the storyline of like us making our own character and our story, that's like in the A tier. So you know what? I'm a generous person, so let's put it at like the bottom of A tier for right now. Oh no, not B tier, A tier. There we go. And then this next game, the Demon Slayer game, S tier. It's an amazing game, and like there's so many DLCs. You can play so many things. Like, there's so many characters you can choose. The animations are crazy. Some of them are actually better than the show. I know that sounds crazy. And for you guys that don't know anime or don't watch it, you will probably not know what I'm talking about. But these guys, Tanjiro, there's so many forms of him, and all of his forms in the game are so cool. And all the DLCs, like Yutaro, he's overpowered in the game, and the storyline is amazing. but the reason why I didn't put it in S plus tier, which I probably would, is just because they're a little behind on like the creating of the characters, and honestly the story mode, because they should have like the entertainment district arc already for story mode, but for some reason they're not adding the story mode, which I don't know why, and that kind of made me a little sad. So that's why I'm putting it in S tier, but it's still a really good game. Next up is Pokemon. I'll tell you this right now. I already know we're probably gonna get a lot of S and A tiers.
Are you sure about that?
Let me tell you why. For these Pokemon games, they're probably at the height. Like the highest part of Pokemon. They're like the best games out there, Pokemon Sword and Shield. But I will say some of the like attacks are a little weird. Like, let's say double kick. It's just a foot. It just shows a red foot with toes going up in the other person's face. Like, what is up with that? And it's also with all the other games. I mean, it is original, and it's cool for like nostalgia looking back on it now. But it would be cooler to have like actual cool animations where you see the Pokemon running up and then actually kicking the person like in the show. That would be pretty cool, but they don't have that for some reason. But this is the best. These two are the best Pokemon games. And Pokemon Sword is basically the same thing. There's just the different legendaries you can get them. But I do favorite Sword over Shield for some reason. I don't know why. I just like Swords better than Shields. But let's put them... where should I put these? A tier or S tier? I'm gonna put them just at A tier. Because it's a solid game, but it's not like a really good game, such as these other ones like Fortnite or Demon Slayer, but they still are a pretty good game. Alright, next up on our list, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. S tier. Okay, well, if you guys don't know what Super Smash Bros. Is, you literally live under a rock.
Oh my god!
You guys don't live under a rock. All of you guys are some of my supporters, okay? And I mean that. And thank you guys so much. Let's try to build a bigger community. Okay, I don't know if you guys can hear me or not, because I'm whispering and my family's watching a movie downstairs. So, yeah, this took a long time to edit and get ready. So, please subscribe. Anyway, Super Smash Bros. It goes all the way back to like the early 2000s, and in the old Switch, this was like the most popular game, and it still is the most popular game. Like, there's so many, it grabs all the characters from all of the Nintendo games. Like, you have Mario, you have the Pokemon, you have Zelda, you have the Splatoon guys. I don't think they have Fortnite. Yeah, they don't have Fortnite, but they do have Minecraft. And I don't know why they're Minecraft, but they're extremely overpowered. I don't know why. And it's just so cool to see all those characters come together, and you can fight them, and they have all their own special attacks, and you can go online with people, and you can play with your friends. Like, I remember doing this with my friends when I was like 7 or 10. It was like the only thing we did. Now I play this game a lot because, you know, I'm a huge anime fan. Don't judge me.
I will send you to Jesus.
I would probably put this S plus tier, and even though I don't play Super Smash Bros. A lot, it's still a godly game. Like, you can't not like it. If you do, I know where you live.
Emotional damage!
Alright, but next up we have Pokemon Tournament DX. Now, most people don't actually know what this is, and some Pokemon fans don't even know what this game is, but it's basically like this Demon Slayer game, but just Pokemon, and the fighting is a little not so smooth as the Demon Slayer game or other PvPs, like in a little arena, such as other ones. It is a little wonky, but it is Pokemon, and they didn't get that much funds for it. I mean, they still did, and it turned out a pretty good game, but I would probably put it at like a B tier. I mean, come on, that seems pretty fair, right? Alright, next up on our list, our final row, we have Zelda Breath of the Wild. What to do with you? Huh, Link? S tier. It's a solid S tier. I mean, almost everyone knows the game. I don't really need to say anything about it. It's just S tier.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to get respect up on the street.
Hi, this is me from the future again, and as I'm editing this, I just realized that some of you guys may not know what this is, and well, I'm going to explain to you in 30 seconds or a little bit more. So buckle your seatbelts. Here we go. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
What do you mean by that?
You wake up from a 100-year nap in a bunch of underwear, and then you get some old-timey stuff. You find this old man in the clock tower. He tells you to get 4 stuff coming out of the ground, and then he tells you that he gives you a paraglider, which is basically a parachute, but if you drop from it, you die, and you have to save his daughter, the princess. But in order to do that, you have to find this old lady who lives in this old place, and in order to do that, you have to travel all the way across half of the map. And then once you do find her, she tells you you're not done yet. You have to go to 4 big giant monsters with big butts, and you have to defeat all the bigger monsters in them, which are even stronger. And after that, you have to get even more prepared and get even more weapons to go to the big castle in the central of the island. And then you have to beat the big monster who's holding a princess captive. And then after that, you only realize after you defeated them, there's another big monster with even bigger big butts. And then after that, you realize that you beat the game, but then you realize that there's another game you have to do, and then after that you realize it's all just a loop. So there you go, there's me explaining this in 1 minute. And that's why I didn't put it in S+ tier for Godly Game, because there's just some controversy about it, and also like swimming underwater, they could have done better with that, like underwater exploration. That would have been so cool. But it is an open world game, and there's so much stuff you can do in it. But they could have just made some improvements with it, with some glitches, which some actually do help you, some kill you. So yeah, but the DLCs in it were really fun to play. I personally love them. I don't know about you guys, but that's why I'm putting it in S tier. Well, let's just skip all these for a second and go to Tears of the Kingdom, and let's just go ahead and put it in S+ tier. I don't even need to talk about it. But if you do want to hear me talk about it, you can't. It's a solid S+ tier. You can't argue to me about it. Go argue to the other people, make bigger videos about this, that get more views and more subscribers, who I want to become one day. I'm tired. Please subscribe. And the reason why I put it S+ tier is because there's more exploration you can craft. There's much more enemies. There's so much more places to explore. And moving on to Pokemon Unite.
I will send you to Jesus.
Okay, Bowser's Fury. I honestly like the game. It can get a little boring because you're like doing the same thing over and over again, and sometimes you're stuck, you don't know what to do. I mean, but the animations were good in this, and it was honestly fun to like see everyone come together, and like Bowser Jr., he's helping you, which is kind of cool. And you're going against a new form of Bowser, Dark Beast Ganon. Sorry, Bowser. I pulled a little Zelda Breath of the Wild reference there, but it's just honestly a cool game, but there are some things they need to work on, such as not letting it get boring. And for that reason, I am going to put it in C tier, probably in the middle of C tier if anything else was in C tier. I mean, it just could have been a little bit better, such as our next one, Mario 3D World. This was a fun game to play, and I remember growing up watching, I think it was Zach Plays or something. I used to watch him all the time, like watching his playlist of Mario's 3D World. It was honestly my favorite thing to do, and I'm hovering over B because it is probably higher than this, higher than B tier. It's higher than Pokemon in B tier because it's a really fun game to play, but it can get annoying sometimes. Like, I know that I've raged, I know some other people have raged, and it just takes a really, really long time to complete unless you grind it for like a whole week. And for that reason, that's why I'm putting it in the B tier. But next up, we've got 2 OGs and the most favorited Pokemon games, even though these 2 games are better than these 2 games. And they're basically the same thing again, just like these two, just different Pokemon. And the Mega Evolution I think is pretty cool, but I am putting them probably at the bottom of A tier, unless anything else is going in A tier, because even for its time, it was pretty good. And I'm not boosting it up just, and I'm not moving it down just because the animations were not good, because they were in a certain time. We haven't developed such things good as this yet. I mean, it was just like some of the features, it could get a little annoying. Like you can get lost in like the caves and like trying to find people, battling people, leveling up. That took a lot more harder and a lot more work than these two trying to level up. Trying to level up in these two games were hard. Like they were really hard. Not super hard, but they were hard. And I did like the Mega Evolution. The Mega Evolutions were pretty cool. But one thing I did wish for Mega Evolutions is that they would have their own signature move. Like some of the legendaries are here, or like their Dynamax versions. Like for the Mega Evolutions, they could have like some of their own Mega move, which would be pretty cool. I think United Place would be good for that. Both games are super solid. They're not super good, they're not super bad, but they are super solid. Go neck yourself.
What do you mean by that?
Alright, Starlink Battle for Atlas. This was my first Nintendo game I got in 2019 when I first got my Nintendo Switch on Christmas. And I didn't play it until like 2022. And when I did play it, I realized this was literally the best game ever until I got, you know, Fortnite and other stuff like Zelda and Pokemon and Demon Slayer and Demon Slayer fans out there. Oh yeah, put a thumbs up in the comments and put Laxstream15 is the No, but actually though, this is probably going in S+ tier. There's just, it's an open world just like Zelda, and it does have its limits. You can travel to so many places, you can battle so many enemies, like, and the boss fight, like, it was actually a hard boss fight, but it was also, like, not too hard, but it was also, like, kind of easy, like, in between that, where you can enjoy the boss fight, and all the battles and the animations were super sick. But actually, let's put it down to S tier.
I will send.
Here's why. You only get a few selection of weapons, and you have to pay money or like other stuff to actually unlock all the weapons, which I think is hassle and not fair for you guys and us players playing Starlink, which is why I moved it down to S tier. And if they were free, or like most of the weapons you could unlock from doing challenges or something, that would move it up to S+ tier. But for that reason, it's staying in S+ tier. It's still a good game, but you know, and let's actually move it. Actually, no. Let's put it at the bottom of S tier. Zelda Breath of the Wild is better than that. Okay, Mario Kart 8. S tier. Again, like Super Smash Bros., I don't need to say anything about it. It's a great game. Phenomenal. Creators did a great job. Everyone loves it. Well done.
Nice.
Pokemon Arceus. D tier. Like I was talking about before for the other games where they could have like better attack animations, they didn't do this, but it was like not in the form I was expecting. Like it was more open world like this, which is not what everyone expected, because they thought it'd be more like these two games, Pokemon Sword and Shield, whereas in Arceus they like took down like all the, they basically downgraded from these two games. And these games probably, because like the attack animations, yeah, they went up, but it also like went down. Like it just became less fun for some reason. I don't know why. I can't really explain it. It's just like a feeling that me and everyone else probably got while playing it. It was still a good game, but there were just a lot more flaws with how people felt with the game, and that's why I'm putting it in D tier.
I will send you to Jesus.
Splatoon 3, now this is a fun game, but it can get pretty annoying. But the playing against people, playing the story mode thing, and being able to splash people with your paint, that's a pretty fun thing to do. And that's why I'm putting it in S tier, but not S+ tier, because, you know, it can get a little boring and annoying, which is like all the pain, and you're just annoyed. Like, you want to win, but the other team is just too resistant, and you end up not winning, and it's just so annoying. That's why I'm putting it in S tier, because some of these games make you rage, and that's not the game's fault. It's kind of your fault, but it is a little bit the game's fault for making it a tad unfair. And last up on our list, we have Just Dance. Now, I can't really rate this, but if I were to rate this, I'd probably give it a C tier, just because, like, the variety of dances you can do is, like, less known by people, and they're, like, less fun to dance to, whereas the original, like, 4 and, like, 10 and, like, 6 and those ones, those were, like, perfection. My favorite would be 4, and, like, those had all, like, the original songs that would just, like, make you smile, and you could do with your friends, and you just have a great time. And that's why I'm putting it in C tier, just because, like, the variety of songs you can play or dance to is not that wide, and you can play to the past ones, but you have to, like, pay money for that, like, in an absurd amount, just to make you have nostalgia. Like, what's up with that? And that's why I'm putting it in a C tier. And before we finish this video, I'm just gonna tinker with some of these selections in, like, their own tiers, and, like, see who's better than who in that own tier. So I'll see you guys in a bit.
You didn't have to cut me off.
Alright guys, as you can see, I have tinkered with some of the selections and, like, where everyone is a little bit. So as you can see, the Attack on Titan, I moved it to the bottom of A tier, just because I think all of these Pokemon games are just better than the Attack on Titan game. And also, I moved the Zelda Breath of the Wild game up to the top of the S tier, and Demon Slayer game right behind it, and Fortnite is in 3rd for the S tier. And it's better than Starlink and Splatoon 3, just because I think with these games, it's like action and adventure, and you just never get tired of it. Whereas Fortnite, it's like, you know, you can rage and it can get a little boring sometimes, although it sort of rarely happens, although for me, it happens 50-50 or 60-40. But Starlink is not better than Fortnite. Here's why. You can get more bored than Starlink, and I just think Fortnite's better. That's my good and honest fact, reason, opinion, why, okay? Don't question me. And Splatoon 3 is staying at the bottom of S tier. And for S plus tier, everything has been moved around. Super Smash Bros. Has been moved down to the bottom of S plus tier, just because, you know, it can also get a little annoying sometimes, like trying to unlock all the characters and sometimes it won't show up, or you lose to one and you miss your chance to one, or you're losing to, like, other people and you're like, or in the story mode you're like, oh shoot, why did I do that? And then you regret it for the rest of the whole game. And then Mario Kart 8 I put above that, just because you never get tired of it. If you always play with your friends, you will always have a good time, and even if you're playing by yourself, it's still fun to know, like, let's go on the best, and you just get that good feeling. Minecraft, it's still the best game, but after playing it for a while, you can like get your fingers get a little sore, and also it can get a little boring sometimes. Like, we can all be honest with this, Minecraft can get a little boring after playing it for a while. And then Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, best game out of all of these right here. And I'm honestly happy with the rankings where I put everything. If you guys don't, just leave a comment down below and we'll do a part 2 to this, and we might fix some of these based on your suggestions, and we'll do another one with some other games, although I haven't really played any other games other than this, so I might do a different variety of games or other stuff for it. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you guys go subscribe. Yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. I guess I could explain why Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is the best. I basically already did when I put it in S tier, so bye!